Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to Theater Talk, this time following the opening matinee performance of Phantom of the Opera. I believe you folks liked it. We have a couple of school groups here. One group from Elizabethtown up in the Adirondacks, where I believe they still have some snow. And the other from Great Barrington, Massachusetts. So, welcome. Okay, as you know from Theater Talk, I'm going to ask these performers to introduce themselves, tell what part they play, where they're from, any other pithy, interesting history about their lives they'd like to share with you, and then we'll get right into questions. So why don't we start?
Pithy, interesting things. My gosh, right? The pressure. Hi there, my name is Eva Tavares, and I play Christine Daae. Thank you. I am from Vancouver, BC, in Canada. I'm one of 2 Canadians in our cast and 3 in our entire company, which is very exciting. And I also am Green Christine on the road, so I'm responsible for making sure we compost and recycle in every city.
It's a good thing. Yeah. Good afternoon. My name is Quentin Oliver Lee, and I played the Phantom. Thanks. I'm from sunny Southern California, and here in Schenectady is actually going to be my very last city in the Phantom of the Opera, which is exciting. Wow. I know, right? I know. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Hi, everyone. My name's David Foley, and I play Monsieur Rayet, the music director at the Paris Opera House. And a shout out to my fellow Massachusetts people, because I come from Worcester, Mass.
Hi, my name is Sarah Grace Mariani, and I play Meg Giry. You might not recognize me. I have brown hair in real life.
Hi, my name is Michael Maliocal, and I'm in the ensemble, and I understudy Raoul. And thank you. Yes. I'm from Central New Jersey, and my fun fact: I'm the newest member of the cast. So, yeah.
How long have you guys been on the road now?
I started in January, so pretty fresh.
No, but I mean, how the production itself, how long has it been on the road?
Oh, sure.
6 years now?
I think it's 6 years this year. Wow. I mean, the show, of course, Phantom of the Opera was created over 30 years ago, but our production is kind of a shoot-off of the 25th anniversary production from London. Yeah.
And it says Cameron Mackintosh's spectacular new production of Andrew. What makes it different from Andrew Lloyd Webber's production? Does Cameron Mackintosh do anything different?
So it's still Andrew Lloyd Webber's show. Cameron Mackintosh produced the brilliant original as well as our production, the spectacular new. And we always get that question, and we like to make everyone feel very calm and reassure them that the show that they know and love, the story, the music, the characters, the costumes are all the same. That's all there. The things that have been changed is purely because when the show was created 30 years ago, we had a certain, array of tools at our disposal as far as special effects and set design. So now we can do things that they weren't able to do back then. So, you're going to see a little, as you guys saw, a little bit more fire. Our set is different. We're able to use Bluetooth technology to move our set, which is kind of incredible. So that's really the only thing. I like to say it's an amped up version of the thing you know and love.
Okay. Good. And can we get some of those cool pyrotechnics anywhere? No. No. All right, questions. We're open for questions. Yes. Yes, you. Have any of you been in any other big productions as opposed to the little ones?
You go for your thing. You just did a thing. Go ahead.
Well, I did the national tour of Shrek the Musical when it came out. I was the standby, the offstage cover for Shrek, and I went on almost every week.
And you got the only other big show?
I did West Side Story before this. That's my other favorite. It is my favorite show. Sorry.
Yeah, and I did The Lion King in Hong Kong, which is fun. Yeah, so I like to say any work that's done, whether it's in a community or on Broadway or on the tour or on the road, is big work. So don't, even if you're in the ensemble, it doesn't matter. Whatever you're doing, you're helping people, and that's big work, truly. Yeah.
Absolutely. Wonderful, wonderful answer. Questions? Yes, blue dress. How do you maintain your vocal cords when you're belting out songs 8 times a week?
Who wants to start?
Yeah, go for it.
I mean, there's so many things. My biggest lifesaver thing that I've discovered on the road is straw warm-ups. I don't know if you guys have heard about that. After traveling for 2 years on the road, you get to learn and learn from different, ENTs and speech pathologists. And one of the things that they all say is using a straw to warm up. So you do your scales, but blow through the straw you can blow bubbles and that kind of thing, and it takes the stress off of the muscles surrounding your vocal cords. As much vocal rest as possible, sleeping, eating well, the kind of consistent things. Do you have?
Yeah, the only thing that I'd add to that is just it's silly because there's so many things that your choir teacher will tell you to do, and they're all pretty much right. Right? Drink water, sleep well. Try not to be too stressed out because there's a lot of stress in the show. So don't stress yourself out otherwise. Yeah.
Easier said than done.
Yeah, easier said than done, I'm sure. Questions? Yes. No, you. Yes, you. What are your favorite outfits in the show? Yours. Oh, flip the switch.
My favorite of what I wear is I like my masquerade costume, the red with the black skirt. That's my favorite.
I also think Raoul's masquerade outfit with the buttons and the cape and everything, that's probably my favorite. Yep.
All right.
They are fantastic costumes, all of them. Do you want to talk about the costume designer? Didn't you say that the costumes carried over from the original production?
Yeah, thank you. Oh, wait, that's yours.
Yeah.
The costumes are the same from the original production. Maria Bjornsson, who recently passed, actually, she created the costumes from the brilliant original over 30 years ago, and we use those same costumes with the exception of maybe 2 of them. I think my masquerade dress is an updated version, and maybe one of yours. Oh, your masquerade as well. That's right. That's right. If you know the brilliant original, in the brilliant original, there's the Red Death costume in masquerade with the big skull mask, and we don't have that in this production. But yeah, these costumes have lasted the test of time, as it were, and they've become identifiable with our show, so we can lose them.
Yeah. Sounds good. You have a question? What's your favorite scene? Favorite scene.
Well, my personal favorite scene is the one where I get to yell at Piangi for not getting his notes right over and over again. Because as a performer, it's an experience that we've all had where you want to get it right so badly. And in this show, the stakes are so much higher because if we don't get it right, this guy's going to come after us. So just pleading with this poor guy who thinks he's singing it right and then over and over whacking those notes for him and he just can't get it. I love it every time.
And it's got to be difficult to do it wrong to do it right.
It's true.
Yeah.
He has to really think about, how do I sing this wrong now that you've just sung it right into my ear? It's not easy.
I can imagine. Questions? Yes, in the... Yeah, how long does it take to set the theater up?
I think that I know. So it takes, I know that loading the show out, it's 100. They hire 100 local crew members, and it takes them, I want to say 12 hours to load out and 36 hours to load in. Loading the chandelier alone takes 10 guys, 12 hours. So it's a big event. 20. Yeah.
There are 20 trucks that transport our show, and 4 of those are advanced trucks. So the stage that we have is specific to our show because we have things that move on those tracks. So we have 2 of those. So whatever our next city is, that that stage is already there. So our next city is Wallingford, Connecticut. So our stage is already there getting set up because it takes so much time. And then ours will be packed up, and then this stage, I guess, is going to Los Angeles. Yeah. So it's intense. Our crew members are truly amazing. Yeah.
Now you hire 100. How many are permanently travel with the sets? 30. Wow. That's pretty good payroll. Yes. What are your favorite songs? I love all of them.
There's a lot. I know I could just really say it, but this is for the people at home. There's a lot of great music, as you guys know. I'm sure everybody has. Really, but my favorite, it depends on the night. Today I liked the title song. That was my favorite today. Yeah. There you go.
I mean, one of my favorite songs / scenes is definitely the final layer, because Raoul and Christine and Phantom don't get many opportunities to sing all together, and as an actor, it's meaty. So you're for Christine, she's being pulled in all different directions. She's having to make some really hard choices, and yeah, that's definitely up there. Yeah.
I love singing Prima Donna with these guys. They're great. Yeah.
I like duetting with this girl over here, an angel of music. That's really fun
Thank
every
you.
night.
My favorite's probably Christine's big showcase moment, wishing you were somehow here. I think it's just like a total showcase for this rock star over here. So,
Boy, you're getting all kinds of. Yeah, that's nice. Yes. How does the Phantom? Nope.
It's a little bit of stage magic. You'll have to.
We can't tell you. Sorry.
Aha, there are secrets. Yes. Voices are beautiful. Have you had a lot of opera training?
Yeah. So I actually, I started out as a dancer and really thought that was going to be my life. And ironically, my grandmother was an opera singer over in the UK, and she told me from birth, really, you should get singing lessons. And I ignored her until a choir director said you should get singing lessons, and then I thought it was a great idea. And then I started kind of dabbling in it in high school, and then I actually ended up doing an undergrad, a bachelor's degree in opera performance out in at the University of British Columbia. Yeah.
I also studied opera with my undergrad, and I still take lessons. I think most of us continue opera lessons and singing and dancing, just different types of lessons,
So Phantom of the Opera is not actually an opera. It's pretty squarely in the musical theater world. I'd say probably a third of our cast, however, comes from an operatic background. I did also study opera, but we're going in and out of different styles vocally in the show. I would say probably solidly a third of us.
Okay. Yeah. This young man in the blue shirt from Great Barrington, his arm is about ready to fall off. Go ahead. He played Baby Shrek in Shrek the Musical. And his dad played Officer Krumke.
There are no coincidences.
And I didn't hear the question.
Oh, so he asked if I get freaked out when our Phantom takes off his mask, when I see his prosthetic. I mean, I will say this prosthetic that he uses, which is latex and... Oh, am I not allowed to say that? Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't know that. Ooh. The thing on his face, it's very well made, very believable. Definitely, when I came into the show for the first time, it was pretty freaky to look at. Yeah, but yeah, our makeup artist Rudy does an amazing job.
Yeah, I do want to add one other thing to that. It really still sort of freaks me out looking at the mirror, and I'm like, there's a face.
Now, do you wear that under the white mask all the time, the entire show? Boy, you must have one side of your face that sweats like crazy. Oh yeah. Yeah. Autographs, ask him as soon as we're done, okay? Any questions over here? Oh, the story.
He was born like that.
Yeah.
I think
Born
it's just
like that?
a deformity
Oh, okay.
that he had since birth. Yeah.
Ah, okay. That answers that question. Yes. Do you have any advice for people who are aspiring to be like you guys?
Sure. I think it's an amazing career to be able to touch people like this with our storytelling. It's also it can be challenging at some times. There are a lot of aspects about it that are not traditional in terms of other careers. But I think ultimately, like if you truly believe that this is something that you were put on this planet to do, work your butt off. Work your butt off. See as much theater as you can. Take as many classes and lessons as you can, and really commit to the learning part of it. Because the performing sort of will come in due time. But treat yourself as an investment in your time, in your craft, in your passion, and then let the rest of it sort of work out the way that it does. But you got to start with yourself, constantly checking in with yourself about what it is that makes you happy and satisfies you as a person. Because if you're not getting the satisfaction out of it, then your audience won't either. I think so. Start with yourself, commit to that, and always check in with what makes you happy.
And I guess don't take the word no personally.
Oh,
'Cause there'll be
absolutely.
a
There's
lot of
plenty
them.
of that in this business. So yeah.
All right, purple shirt, non-Vera Bradley bag. How do you feel about the character of the Phantom? Yeah. Which friend of the Phantom or the? Oh, okay.
How do I feel about the character of the Phantom? Well, I think that everybody has moments when they don't feel heard or feel very misunderstood. And the Phantom, just as a person, that has been his whole life. If you could imagine, like, your mom never saying that they liked you or loved you or never giving you a hug or anything like that, and it being very much the opposite, that they shunned you or kicked you or pushed you around, that was sort of the Phantom's life growing up. And so despite all of that sort of tragic history, he still wants, like, love and passion in his life, and he fights pretty hard for that. So, yeah, he does some bad stuff, which isn't good. But he does it, and he wants to change, in the end, which I think is good. Yeah.
Okay, good. Question right there, right in front. No. What was one challenge you had either acting or singing, and the choice you had to make? A little philosophical here.
It is philosophical.
I'll answer that one again. So he asked, what was one challenge that you had? And I think it's really important to remember that, like, every show, every day, really, there are a lot of challenges. Today, there were things in this show that were different than would normally happen. And so we have to face those quickly and professionally. And the best that you can do is just to do the best you can and just keep going and keep pushing forward. And that is sort of how I dealt with that, and I know that that's how some of the other actors dealt with that on stage today. So that happened. Yeah, I don't know if there's any other.
All right, we
I
have
think
time.
from like a vocal perspective, especially like Eva was talking about the final air being one of her favorite moments in the show. It gets really heated on stage. We're yelling at each other, we're screaming, Eva's crying. Like, it's just, and I think from a vocal perspective, you have to find your way to keep that all happening healthfully. So that's definitely a big challenge when I'm on for Raul, to make sure that you're like really digging into the character, but still like singing in a way that will sustain your voice through as many shows that we need to do. So.
We have time for one more question, then they have to get a bite to eat and blow through straws and do all that kind of stuff. Young lady who's jumping. Oh, a little girl over there? Well, I'll do two questions, okay? You'll be second. All right. What's some of your biggest inspirations?
That's a very good question. I am really inspired by people who use their fame to make change. So, famous actors who use their platform to create a dialogue about something that needs to be ameliorated in our world, or people that use their platform to raise money for charity, those kind of things. And also people who are at a certain level, who are able, willing, and also make the time to be generous with their talent and wisdom, because I've worked with a few people who I look up to, who are mentors, and the people that really make an impact on me are the ones who are at a really high level and also make time to sit and talk with you about what you're going through, and to know that they're still going through those same things. So those are the kind of people that really inspire me.
Why don't we go that way, and then I'll come. Unless.
No, that's all.
Oh, okay. Yeah, one of the things that actually inspired me is quite the opposite, honestly, in a way. Yeah, well, I mean, no, there's something, and the thing is, there are different things that inspire different people, right? So for me personally, I really just like normal, regular people doing cool things, and I think that there are teachers, I mean, there's so many teachers that had huge impacts on my life, honestly, like, cheers to you guys. Serious. I mean, that's really inspiring. You guys each can be something for somebody, and that really touches my heart to be able to see that and to feel that, honestly. Yeah.
All right, our last question, and right there. A little louder, please. Does it hurt when the Phantom whips her around and pulls her arms?
Pretty violent, it's true.
So in our show, the fight choreography is exactly that. It's choreographed. So we have a fight captain and our resident director who makes sure that every night it's safe. And we communicate when, something goes awry that we need to fix. But no, I mean, I will say it is tough on my body. I have to really be very careful and make sure my strength is up and that I'm aware and focused so that we have no mistakes. But 99.9% of the time, everything's good. Yeah.
I'm afraid we have about 1,000 more questions and no time to ask them. So thank you all very, very much. The cast from Phantom, and thank you all for joining us for Theater Time. Have yourself a wonderful day.